Look from the Book, presented by TopSport.
Now it's time for a look from the book turf presented by our friends at TopSport. Our usual host of today's podcast, Matt Welsh, walked in 15 minutes late with a skinny latte and a granola, and then says he has to leave early to go and attend a meeting today for racing.com.
Yes, he's off at Kilmore. So we're a two-hander, but Tristan from TopSport joins us. Welcome, Tris. How's the week?
Yeah, good boys. Yeah, even the almond milk must have been out of play for Matt. I thought that was normally his go.
Are you back in the office today?
I am. I have to make a run in here every couple of weeks. I'm in here for my one rare occasion, but no, we're in here today, and plenty of race meetings going today. So it'll be interesting what the boys get up to. Magic round up here, which is the worry. We got the big round of NRL, but plenty of rain around up in.
Just
Queensland.
seems rain event after rain event, and they made the big call, and they made it early to switch from one track to the other.
They did, yeah. So we've gone from Doomben to Eagle Farm, which I think is a pretty good idea. Like, you get the decision made early so it doesn't impact too much of the pre-post markets. Obviously, people that have invested early doors on the real feature races are going to be impacted. And what we do there and what we did last time when it happened at Newcastle, the bets stand by default, because obviously some people have got on some big shorteners that they want to hold on to. But if anyone, really doesn't want to retain their bet on the back of the tracks moving, then we're happy for them to contact us and use a bit of discretion there. So, but I think it's a smart move by the Queensland racing up here, because at least now we know the track at Eagle Farm's going to dry a lot better than Doomben, and the punters know what's happening now from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That's all it was it? Given that the tracks are actually across the road from each other, it's just that one track dries out better.
Yeah, I think so. I think Eagle Farm's just known as that. It's a really good surface in that sense. So, they obviously know the conditions. They know where it's going to be better suited. So it's going to be interesting running the Doomben 10,000 at Eagle Farm. I'm sure there'll be a trivia question related to that many years down the line. But I think it was a good proactive decision.
How does the betting change when compared to the markets and the investments, say Doomben to Eagle Farm on a big day like you'll have on Saturday?
Yeah, I think on Saturday the holds will be really strong. We probably find Eagle Farm is slightly better in terms of where we hold more money in Queensland compared to Doomben. It's similar to when they're racing at Flemington and Melbourne. That's always their biggest holding venue. But at the moment, the betting so far this week's been a little bit slow, just because I think the weather's still pretty ordinary. So it is a slow 6 at the moment, but I reckon it's going to, even though the track's good, like a good surface, I think it is going to get worse. So I think punters are just waiting to see what it ends up at and make their decision based on that.
Now, Tristan, where's the early money going ahead of Saturday?
Yeah, so the early money probably in the feature has been for Kementari. It's been well backed at decent odds. It's been $9 into $7.50. So the money early has probably been a little bit light, just because there's been a few other things happening this week.
Who's your lay?
My latest, so I'm going to go in early races in Melbourne. I'm going to go late race, should I say, in the Andrew Ramsden. I think it looks a really even open field. So I'm going to take on Splendiferous there at the 370. I think up in class, up in distance, obviously in form, but I think it's meeting a much tougher field here, and we're very, very happy to take it on at the favourite quote at the moment.
I think that's a reasonable call, Tristan. I know we harp on this election a fair bit, but it is dominating the airwaves at the moment. And it just appears to me to be Labor shortening the whole time. Where have you got them positioned at the moment? And how's the hold on it? Is it significant?
Hold's fantastic. And because there was a real strong push for the coalition when the date got announced, and there's people on that, and there's been punters, realigning and getting themselves back on the Labor. They're into $1.37 favourites, the coalition $3. So it has been ebbing and flowing. There's been a lot of money for both parties over the course of the last couple of weeks. I'm sure it'll heat up, but that American election was one of our biggest holding events of the last couple of years. So I'd expect this to be something similar. But yeah, one of the markets on the back of our chat last week that's got a bit of impact has been the leader of the opposition. We got Dutton favourite, Freidenberg second pick, and what was your selection pronunciation there, Turfy? It had been a big famer as well.
You're talking about, Tanya Plibersek is she's Labor, so she's not in that market. But there will be a roughie, because there'll be if Freidenberg loses his seat and Morrison gets booted out, there'll be a roughie. I've just got this feeling about that. Has there been a big go on any particular seat? Is there one seat that's been a huge shortener on?
Yeah, there's been some big goes, and I was looking at one this morning where we were laying one at $5. It was at actually down your neck of the woods in Melbourne. I'll just bring it up. It was the seat at where are we at Monash? So we were laying.
Really?
The coalition's in very short, but they were taking a few of the Labor options.
Retiring
there
member
at,
is leaving. Kevin Andrews, he's Monash.
Oh, Kevin Andrews,
He's retiring.
He's a very conservative member.
Yeah, he is. So that's fat. Next week, Tristan, with Turf and I were talking as we're waiting for Matt to bring his granola upstairs, that next week we should actually do a political multi if we can. I know there's a few rules around political betting, but we'd love to do a political multi. Let's face it, our racing multis at the moment are struggling due to turfs, place bets, and whatever else.
Hey.
But I think by next week there should be some politics. Now, we do race at Morfettville on Saturday, the Derby as well. What's the markets doing there?
Yeah, the Derby at Morfettville, we've seen a big push for Detonator Jack. Obviously, Johnny Allen's got a really good record in the Derby, so 460 into 420. Allegron, though, is always a very popular conveyance, and it was $2.98 to $3, just back into $2.90. So I think it's going to be a good betting race because Jungle Magnate, should I say, has been well supported too. So
there's a horse in that race too, Tristan, number 18 called Turfy.
Yes, Turfontaine thrilled, who looks a little bit outclassed, if you ask me. The multi this week, will you going to handle Matt's leg of the multi?
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Who have you got in your...
I'm going for the place. Well, it's a very wide open meeting, but a little bit of odds here. Race 6, number 13, Cardinal Gem, one of Graham Begg's 3-year-olds. I reckon 1,400 second up. Flemington, he's run well there before. He's the place. He is my leg.
The place. Well, I'm going in the Derby. Allegron, I just think that having won this...
A long preparation, Allegron.
It has.
He's had a long preparation.
I don't necessarily see anything in there outside of Detonator Jack with John Allen on board. That I believe it's I'm going to say it's a 2-horse race. Those 2 horses probably not going to win now that I've said that, but it came third to a horse called a Totsu on a heavy 10. Does handle a good track.
Yeah, no, he won a Ledger winner. I understand all of that, but he's had a bit of racing. That's all I'm saying.
Now, Tristan, has Matt Welsh sent you his tip before he went and escaped down the highway?
Because he was going to say elation at one stage.
We talked him out of that.
He said about 3 or 4 and a couple of shorties, but then he ended up settling on Flemington Race 9, number 2, How Romantic, which I think is named after him. $2.60 the place. He went the place.
Speaking to his wife, mate, it's definitely not the horse is definitely not named after one M. Welsh.
No, she's a good filly, How Romantic. So that's Matty's leg there. So I reckon that's
$2.45-ish. Is that right?
Yeah,
$2.60 the place.
Would be up around 20.
That gets our multi out to $21.86.
There you go.
I'm going to change things up a little bit this week, boys. So we want to try to raise some funds for the obviously for the flood relief, and we backed a couple of winners early doors, but we've been a little bit barren. So I'm going to put the 100 on as normal on the multi there at $21.86. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw another 100 in. I'm going to create a unique market, especially for our Good 3 podcast. What I'm going to do, I reckon we've just been missing. We've been running fourth, we've been running second, we backed him for the winner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Cardinal Gem top 4. I'm going to do How Romantic top 4, and I'm going to do Allegron top 2. So that gets us, I'm going to put it up at $12, and I'm going to give us another shot at that. So if we just miss, we've got the consolation prize.
I feel like
they're going to run fifth and third now, don't you?
I feel like it's a kindergarten teacher giving us the encouragement award.
Yeah, we've got a ribbon for
Friday afternoon.
A ribbon for participation. We just won there.
Nah, that's good to know, Tristan.
Plenty of those, so we'll see how we go.
Best of luck on the weekend. Hopefully, I know Matt did remind me to ask you about dinner. We're not going to go there, Turf. We're going to have a week where we don't talk about Tristan's dinner. But best of luck for the weekend, and look forward to catching up again next week.
Speak next week, guys.
A Good 3 with Dr. Turf, Matt Welsh and Paul Tatnell.